대체 어디야?
집이지? 우리 새로 시작한다고 그랬잖아. 이게 그거야. 아빠는 빅 가든 하나 만들 거야.
What a wonderful day to be in the house of the Lord. If you're here with us for the first time, please stand. What a beautiful family. Glad you're here.
How's your daddy like that new farm? He growing things good, doing things right?
Yes.
미국 애들은 할머니랑 같이 방 쓰는 거 싫어한다던데.
But I don't like Grandma.
걔는 안 그래요. 한국애니까.
Grandma smells like Korea.
야, 뭐라고? 그랜마 스멜?
우리 여기 있다가 망할 거야. 애들을 위해서라도 한 번 더 생각해 볼 수 있잖아.
애들도 한 번쯤 아빠가 뭔가 해내는 거 봐야 될 거 아니야.
깨라 이놈아.
할머니는 진짜 할머니 같지 않아요.
할머니 같은 게 뭔데?
쿠키도 만들고 나쁜말도 안 하고 먼저 팬티도 안 입고.
We need to find water somewhere. If that soil ain't wet, we're gonna lose a crop.
결혼하면서 했던 말 기억나? 미국에 가서 서로를 구해주자고 했던 거.
기억해.
어이 프리티 보이, 프리티 보이.
I'm not pretty. I'm good looking.
Why, hello, Sam.
Hi, Stuart.
Oh my gosh. It's like we were just talking a second ago.
Oh my gosh. Like that we weren't at all just talking a second ago.
Well, that's true too. Okay, so hello, everyone, and welcome to Scotch Cinema. I'm Stuart Landon.
I'm Sammi Melville.
And, I messed up already. Sam, because
How
we were
did you
supposed
mess up?
Well, we were gonna say the title together. Can we try? Can we try anyway to see if we can? Okay, great. And this is Scotch and
Cinema.
Okay, that's going really, really well. So
yeah, one day we will get that right.
Oh my gosh! So we started this podcast last year and did a handful of episodes that are all available through your favorite podcast listening things, but Sam and I decided that we wanted to reimagine it as a web show because there's a little something coming up called the Oscars, right, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not when it's supposed to be, but it's still happening, guys.
Right. Yeah, it's still happening. In case you were wondering, because technically it would have happened like 2 weeks ago. Normally.
Yeah, it would have been like end of February or early March.
Yeah.
But
not this year. But why,
nope.
Sam?
It's just like this weird virus that's blanketing the entire world.
Let's think. Okay. So that brings me to the next thing. Sam, what are you drinking tonight?
To kill the virus. No. So I am drinking Jura. I've never had it before.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's aged 10 years. It's a rich and rounded balance of subtle smoky notes with a sweet sherry cask finish.
Oh my gosh. So in case anybody can't catch on, Sam and I like to nerd out about movies while we're drinking scotch. I mean, that's how simple this show is. And so you've got the fancy scotch. You always have the fancy scotch. I
like peat.
You do. And
Smoky.
I have Johnny Walker Double Black. So
that's also peaty.
It is, but yes, you're right. It is, but it's not. I don't know. I don't find this as intense as a lot of the stuff that you drink, and that I drink too. But yeah. So anyway, let's.
Maybe this isn't peaty. I mean, it says it's got smoky notes, but it could just be very mild.
Smoky Notes is also the name of my band. Smoky Notes.
I need to write down all of your band names because
you have a lot of band names and drag names.
Your music.
First albums, yeah. It's yes, you do need to listen.
Memoirs.
Yeah, the memoirs. Oh, that's big. Smoky Notes, the Sam Melville story. I love that sound.
It's very satisfying.
It is. It is. No.
I feel like I shouldn't pour too much, but I'm gonna pour more.
All right. Well. Clink, clink.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.
This is the worst. Clink.
It is. It
There we
is.
go. Okay. Just as delicious as I remember it. I hope that at home you are also pouring a drink. So please, in the comments, let us know what you're drinking tonight. And even if it's water, I also have that because it's important to stay hydrated. So Sam, did you take a sip yet? Did you try
I
it?
did. I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to?
No. How was it?
It's good. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on.
Okay.
It's like it's I don't know how to describe words. It's deeper than that doesn't make any sense. It tastes deeper than I expected it.
That's nice.
I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Rounder. That's what it tastes rounder than I expected.
Rounder.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go on, move on with our Oscar predictions, Sam and I were talking, and we thought maybe it might be important for us to discuss some frequently asked questions.
So frequently asked.
Seriously though, right? Like these are not just random or just one-offs. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to know what's going on with Midtown Cinema.
With Midtown Cinema, and we are so. And Adam and Sam and I enjoy our time hanging out with the private groups, which we'll talk more about later, with these private screening groups, which you too can rent the theater for your own private screening by going to this website right here, midtowncinema.com/rent. And it is it's a delightful time. It's been nice to be there with these groups of
people really like getting out of the house, and
yes.
This affords them the opportunity to do that. And it's all like, I feel like I'm just gonna talk about the rentals, but you can have up to 10 people, so it's like your pod, and you can feel like you're going out on the town, but it's within the security of a very private cinema.
It is. And what's also really nice is that not only, of course, do we have rigorous cleaning protocols, but which I meant to download that picture of you, Sam. We'll do it next time. But you can check it out on our Instagram.
Me being a Ghostbuster.
Fantastic picture of Sam with the Ghostbuster backpack that we have that kills all the viruses. Fantastic stuff. But anyway, so we not only do we clean it, but there's also really amazing HVAC.
It's like a disinfectant.
That's a disinfectant. But there's also an amazing HVAC filtration system that was recently installed during our renovations that finished up in October, right before, of course, we reopened. Which brings me to our question that is so often asked when people ask us anything. They say, "When are you opening?" That's a really good question, right, Sam?
Yes, we are open, but
we are for private screenings.
We're open, but not for public screenings. No. So I guess that's an important clarification.
Right. Well, I mean, they're available. These private screenings are available to anyone. But I think that an important people are asking, when can they come see a movie? When are single tickets going to go on sale for first run films at Midtown Cinema? And Sam and I have had lots of conversations with the team, and we really think that give us a couple of months and we're going to dip our toes
We're going to try it out.
We're going to try it out. So I know that there's in about a month, there is a special event that the Susquehanna Art Museum is going to be doing at Midtown Cinema. And that might be our first foray into single ticket sales. We just, the staff of the cinema just needs to feel this out. And we really appreciate your patience and your grace in these times. And we are just figuring it out day to day, just like everybody else. I'm hoping May.
Yeah, we're hoping we'll give it a few more months for more people to get their vaccines. So get your vaccines, guys.
Get your vaccine.
And yeah, we're not going to open back up for public screenings until we feel like it's going to be safe. So
right, and it's going to be obviously with the required restrictions, and we probably will even go further than that. When it comes to social distancing, when it comes
we're already doing further than the restrictions. So
Oh yeah.
We're paranoid people. Or I'm a paranoid person.
We're paranoid. No.
I'm paranoid. And
Midtown
I force
Cinema.
Everyone else to do.
We're
what I want
paranoid.
them to do.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. No, it's true though. It's true. We are going further, I think. Deeper or rounder, just like your Scotch. Anyway, next up, another question that we get a lot is this. How do I get a private screening? Well, like I said, it's very easy. You can go to our website, midtowncinema.com, and or midtowncinema.com/rent, as you see right here. And you can very easily find a date and a time that works for you and your family, or you and your disease cluster. Such a bizarre.
Gotta come up with a new name, Stuart. Gotta come up with a new name.
Disease Cluster also is the name of my band. So, and our first album is Smoky Notes. There you go. Yeah. So so you go there, midtowncinema.com, you pick a date, you pick a title. We have a list of over 80 films available for private screenings. Lots of awesome nostalgic films, lots of kids movies, lots of sci-fi movies, and
now we're adding some Oscar predicted titles, Oscar contenders, to the list, because we know people are going to want to try to see stuff before the Oscars.
Yeah, people have been asking if the Oscar shorts will be available. I think they are going to be. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to work out, so people will be able to rent out a theater. Quote, yeah, right. And then also, we're going to talk about this film later, but very specifically, I know that as of this past weekend, we're able to book Minari. So do that, because it's wonderful, isn't it, Sam? Sorry, we'll talk about that later.
It's so good.
So good.
I will stop talking about it.
Okay. Well done.
Spoilers.
Okay, so here's the last question we're going to answer today.
I was going to say, sorry. If you want to do a private screening, just so you know, it's filling up. So get in there while you can.
Yeah, no, they are basically, okay, so you have to book 7 days in advance, but most of our screenings are booked out at least 2 to 3 weeks. So a really good day of the week to try is Thursdays. Oftentimes Thursday nights are more available. So word to the wise, check out Thursday nights. That would be really good. Also, okay, can I move on now, Sam? Thank you for that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So here's the last frequently asked question. And it's not as frequent, but this is the outdoor film series happening? Because last year it didn't, right, Sam? Not really. Not in the same way.
No. We did the drive-ins, but it was not at the cinema, and
it wasn't.
It was different.
It was different. It was a lot of fun. We were so thankful to the Friends of Midtown, to all of the sponsors, to the Farm Show for helping us out with that experience last year. And I'm not saying that won't happen. It's very possible that will happen. But you know what will happen? I think, once again, don't quote me, I had a great meeting last week with some folks from Friends of Midtown, and it looks like we are going to try to do some outdoor movies this coming summer. It's going to be spread out, right? It's going to be limited capacity, so there's going to be a different way to like you'll have to reserve your spot.
You can't just show up. You have to,
No, I think it might have to be done by lottery or something like that because there's not going to be very many spots. And
to be determined.
Right. All those specifics will be announced later, but we probably won't start those until, I'm guessing, July. So July and August, I think we're looking at having about 4 outdoor movies. Once again, not exactly sure. It may not happen. We'll see. Every day the world's rules are changing. But stay tuned because it's pretty exciting stuff. And I think it's very possible that this stuff will happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I have a good feeling. I mean, Sam and I have been pro outdoor movies. Like, we wanted to do them in October.
Yeah, I was like, let's just get everybody some heaters and we'll all sit outside.
Absolutely.
And freeze our patukas off.
So, for those of you that haven't been by the cinema, you might
We're pretty now.
Okay, you want to see? Shall we show them, Sam?
We're so pretty now. Let's show them.
Yeah. We reskinned the building, which sounds horrible.
That does sound. Don't use that word.
Reskinned the disease cluster. No, here we go. So this is the new front of our building. We no longer look like. What did you say the other day, Sam? That we look like a
shoe store?
We
did. We looked like a shoe store.
We did. We looked like a shoe store
or like a
years.
laundromat.
Yeah. And now we're really pretty. So we've got this beautiful building. There it is in the snow. And the
let me tell you how long we waited for these signs, guys.
Oh my gosh, the signs.
I don't even know how long. It was a long time.
It was a long time. I feel like they just went up after months of waiting because the rest of the front of the building was red. Here's the greatest picture. I uploaded this picture and my fingers are totally in the picture. Hold on. And there you go.
If you wanted to check out Stuart's cuticles, now's your chance.
Exactly. I need to go get some work done on my cuticles. So anyway, here's, speaking of fabulous pictures, here is a picture of a group in one of our cinemas. Right now we have some couches going on. So this is a
disease cluster.
Right. No, so this is a group that they took off their masks for the picture, and obviously you have to take off your masks if you're going to eat popcorn, but that's beside the point. They were a fabulous group, and I didn't even tell them I was going to be using this picture, so I hope it's okay. So they are watching Casablanca. Isn't that a great choice?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love
and they all dressed up.
They did.
Look at them. Look at their all snazzy outfits.
Yeah, you too could dress up. Actually, I think that there's a lady in the back that has a fascinator on, and I was obsessed with the fascinator.
It was very cool.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so here's the inside of the cinema in case you haven't. Okay, so real quick before we move on, the reason why we have couches is because we won't have all couches for very much longer. In fact,
they're already changing that.
Yeah, exactly. So we are actually going to have like half couches, half seats in theaters 1 and 2.
Because we got new seats.
We did. And then in theater 3, we will also have a couple of couches in the front, I think. So I'm so excited about the couches. They're so comfy. My favorite one is that red velvet one in the back. It's so comfortable.
I like that chair that no one is sitting in, and I'm kind of sad now that no one's sitting in it.
I think, Sam, didn't you claim that chair? You said
yes. When we put in the rest of the seats, I'm taking that chair.
As you should. All right. So like I said, here is the inside of the theater or the cinema. Right here. That's our new lobby. Lots of red. And beautifully done. The architect Rich Gribble did such a good job designing this, and we add directly in the middle. You can't see it in this picture, but it says all theaters above those double doors. So we actually added a wall there. So if you're trying to get your bearings and you haven't been in the cinema, this is a new.
It does. It's probably people are like, where is this?
Right. So I took this picture this morning from the front doors, looking slightly to the left. So this would have normally been looking towards the weird peninsula-shaped,
like the L-shaped thing.
L-shaped counter box office thing that we had going on. And now that is all on the left, except we extrapolated all of the coffee and ice creamness, and we put that on the right. And then what you don't see is on the far right, behind that pillar that's in the corner, that pallard, what is it called? A ballard. And the is pylon thing, that is a 0 day. So they have their tasting room.
No one can see that, so no one knows what you're talking about.
Sorry. Anyway, that's fine. It is so 0 days tasting room is now in our lobby. So people can take burr into the cinema. Into the theaters, rather. Into the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So
you don't have to go all the way around the building to get some beer and bring it back in.
No.
Spill it on the sidewalk. Just don't do that.
You don't have to.
You can just take it straight from the bar to the theater.
You can. Straight into your veins. So we have a lot of, before we move on with our Oscar predictions, I have a couple more pictures that I wanted to show. The first one is, I'm not sure why I have this one uploaded.
It's like show and tell time.
It is show and tell. Here's Sam. Well, that's not Sam.
What?
This is Sam. Look, there's Sam.
Oh, no.
So Sam, so we put up a lot of decorations with vintage posters around the building, and I'm sorry, I didn't reframe this so that it covers everything. So here we are, right next to Sam.
Right, awkward standing next to myself.
Exactly, and the anyway, and then we also have this, which is the night at the movies. Well, technically, that's not the night at the movies. That's just some spilled popcorn, but it is a certificate that you can enjoy. I think it's a private screening and 2 bags of popcorn and 2 sodas and a slew of other concessions. And so you could buy this. Ice cream is included. Well, just one ice cream.
Just one ice cream. You have to share.
Get greedy, but it's just one ice cream.
You can figure it out.
You can. And we also have a new thing, which I'm excited about. Mm-hmm. And that would be these cookies. So we got a
cookie oven.
We did.
Sorry.
No.
I tried to beat you to it.
You did. And you beat me to it. But I mean, they're just delicious. They really are. I mean, I'm just such a big fan of the cookies,
Hey, excuse me.
What?
I want a cookie.
Just take one.
We should have planned this better.
We should have.
This is rude.
I'm sorry.
I feel very left out right now.
All right. And with that, we're going to move on to our next segment, which is our Oscar predictions. You ready for that, Sam?
I am.
Excellent. So, the cookies are still up.
Oh, don't worry, they'll be here for the rest of the show.
They will.
Oh, never mind.
And I'm consuming all my calories for the day in this one cookie. Anyway, so Sam and I were enjoying a discussion about our Oscar predictions earlier tonight, and we both really enjoy the take that Variety.com has on their website. You can just type in Oscar predictions, and it's one of the first articles that comes
because
up.
Everybody has their own say on what we think is going to get nominated, but there's still a list that pretty much everyone agrees upon.
I mean, that's true. I just think they just say it in like the most concise way, which I really appreciate. Like it's just well organized. So we're going to go ahead and just chit chat through some of these. The first one that we believe, to be specific, we're talking about Best Picture nominees.
Yeah, we're not going to get into the other categories.
No, because actually the nominations are being announced in a week, right? It's just a week. And so next Monday, which we're planning on doing this again, unless we hate ourselves after the show, which I'm assuming I'm not going to. So the
it might happen.
Look, everybody give Sam some love in the chat room. Isn't she fabulous? So So anyway, so we're going to talk about our best picture predictions, and I think that this list is really, really solid. So in case anybody doesn't know, I think that Sam and I were reading some conflicting things, and maybe somebody in the chat room knows better than us, but it looks like this might be the final year where because last year the Academy made an announcement where they said they were going to have 10 nominees for Best Picture. Like that was a standard number, but I think the pandemic really threw a wrench in that, and I'm pretty sure.
I think they were like predicting, telling us what would happen in the future. So I guess this is still a sliding scale year.
Yeah, this year.
It could be anything. Who knows?
It could be 6 films, 5 films. It could be 6 films. It could be 10 films. We don't know. Today we're going to talk about lots of them, but we're going to talk about the ones that you should make sure you try to see before April 25th, when, by the way, Midtown Cinema is in fact planning to do a virtual event that will include a swag a swag bag that you can pick up from cinema. So more on that later.
It's like you're there experiencing the Oscars, but
Obviously.
You're really at home.
Right.
And so you get to like sit on your couch, but also eat really good food and watch with us.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Hold on a second. I am going to make sure. Okay. So, number 1, we have Nomadland. Everybody says Nomadland is a shoo-in. And look at Frances McDormand's face. Obviously, she knows it too.
I think this is actually, it's like the number 1 obvious choice for it. So also keep that in mind when you're thinking about what might win the Oscars.
I mean, seriously.
I have a feeling.
I do too. This honestly it is definitely in my top 4 cinematic experiences.
I thought you were going to say top 10 and I was going to laugh at you, but
no, it is way up there. It is in my, this was fucking brilliant. Sorry. It was brilliant.
Effing brilliant.
It was effing, I have no idea. So it was absolutely stunning. And if you haven't seen Nomadland, watch it.
It's Frances McDormand.
She could read the phone book and
She's amazing.
Give her an Oscar. Yeah. No, it's true.
Also, I just kind of want to live that life a little bit.
The phone book life? Or the Nomad life?
The Nomad life. I want to be able to like go wherever I want.
Yeah.
Have a home but not a house. I mean, well, I like having a house.
That's if you like having a house, I'm not sure this is the life for you because it really is interesting because they actually like are anti-house. Like it's
if I didn't have cats, is what I'm saying.
Not to spoil it, and we should probably talk about Nomadland next week, but it is, for those who haven't seen it, it is there's a moment when she chooses not to have a dog. There's an opportunity. And it's like that to me was, and it's towards the beginning. This isn't ruining anything about the plot of the film.
It's actually the finale of the whole movie. It's just
there's this moment when she has to choose between a dog and her van. And it's not Sophie's choice. It's absolutely it's delightful. So the next one on the list is The Trial of the Chicago 7. Oh, look at that. I didn't make this full screen. So, and this, of course, is playing on Netflix. All-star cast, studded cast, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's a very extensive list of people, which I'm now realizing is not in front of me. So
no, I mean, it's an insane list. It's wonderful. So this is the story of the folks on trial stemming from various charges surrounding the uprising of the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. So it is, but it's written by Aaron Sorkin, who's just like the darling of Hollywood. So he won the Golden Globe. The darling writer of Hollywood.
Here's the thing. I feel like the Golden Globes it's like a Venn diagram. There's always some overlap, but then you have to figure out what they do have like a different style of choosing. Yeah. So, but I'm trying to remember in past years whether screenwriting always overlapped, and I think maybe it did. So we'll see. But Aaron's working
next week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should have looked it up for this week.
Number 3, one that we know pretty well, and that would be Minari. So that's from A24,
Minari.
And it is a delight. It is absolutely. The poster says this. It says this. It's a quote from I think Variety or something, and it says, "This is the movie we need right now." I do not disagree.
I loved it. Love. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of movies that I love, but it's just because this one is fresh. We watched it today, and I cried a lot.
We did. It was nice to be in a movie theater with you today, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've missed that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can have a private screening in Midtown Cinema, which we both have had those. Yeah. So anyway, next up, News of the World from Universal Pictures, starring the one and only Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. I mean, talk about just Oscar bait. You can't have an Oscar lineup without Tom Hanks in it, right? Like,
I mean, no. It is also a period piece. A period piece with Tom Hanks. Yeah. I mean, anyway, the synopsis of this is a Civil War veteran agrees to deliver a girl taken by the Kiowa people years ago to her aunt and uncle against her will. They travel hundreds of miles and face grave dangers as they search for a place that either can call home. I mean, it's literally created to win an Oscar. So again,
that is the goal. I mean, I guess every film has a goal of winning an Oscar, but that's like especially the goal here.
I agree. Next up, Promising Young Woman from Focus Features. Oh, there we are. There she is. Love her.
This one. Carey Mulligan is my favorite person.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
A young woman traumatized by a tragic event in her past seeks out vengeance against those who cross her path. Amazing.
It's a really cool concept, first of all. Really well executed.
Carey Mulligan, Bo Burnham, Laverne Cox, Molly Shannon, Jennifer Coolidge. Holy shnikes! It's amazing.
Alison Brie.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good. It's just a really good cast. It's just good.
Yes.
There's also like a lot of really cool people as the producers too, which I feel like doesn't really mean anything to anyone, but I think it's cool.
It means something to you, Sam. It means something to you.
Does.
Next up.
That's all I'll say about that.
One Night in Miami from Amazon. There you go. A fictional
Regina King.
Regina King is a goddess.
The director.
Yeah. A fictional account of one incredible night in 1964 where 4 icons of activism, sports, and music, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke gather and discuss their roles in the civil rights movement. I mean,
just the concept is worthy of itself.
Yeah, it really is. Next up, and I know that you have something to say about this one. Sound of Metal, and it's not just about the shirtless man.
So this is, first of all, I'll read the synopsis, or the one-liner synopsis that I have here. It says, a heavy metal drummer's life is thrown into free fall when he begins to lose his hearing. So I haven't actually seen this movie yet, but and I've been kind of like putting it off because so my sister works with the deaf community, and I was nervous about it, okay? Because there's some, it's kind of there's been some mixed reviews from the deaf community.
Sure.
I mean, obviously it's very obvious that it's a film for the hearing community and not specifically for the deaf community. And while they do have some deaf actors in the cast, it's not it like the protagonist is a hearing actor, so there's a lot of. I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's about someone who is going through that for the first time.
Right.
So I guess, but yeah, I'm curious. I do need to see it, and I'm curious to see how it goes, and just like how the deaf community is represented, I guess, because that is something that is a part of my interests.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. And honestly, that we should definitely add it to our watch list because it sounds like the performances are amazing.
Oh yeah.
Next up, we have The Father from Sony Pictures Classics. Holy moly!
Yes. Olivia Colman, Mark Gatiss, Anthony Hopkins, Imogen Poots. Just like it's. I mean, everyone in this movie is star worthy. I will watch anything that Olivia Colman is in.
Anything. If anybody gets a chance, you should subscribe to National Theater Live at Home or National Theater at Home. It's the new streaming service, and pay for it for a month or whatever. And they're supposed to be changing out their titles, and they are. I've subscribed for a few months now. Olivia Colman in Mosquitoes.
Oh, you were talking about this, yeah.
I mean, she's amazing at everything, but also, I mean, I'm a theater guy too, so it's like to see her on stage, even if it's recorded, like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's so good. You and I should watch that. I know it won't be nominated for an Oscar, and we have a lot to watch between now and April 25th.
We'll just tack it on to a movie night. Like, you know, show up an extra 3 hours.
That's right.
Early
no big deal. No big deal.
It's fine. Yeah.
No big deal. Excellent. Oh, here we go. Next up on our list. If I can find it. Here we go.
Yes.
Judas and the Black Messiah from Warner Brothers.
Which is just awesome.
Yeah. Fred Hampton.
Well, first of all, it's just a really cool concept. So it's the story of Fred Hampton, who was the chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party, and basically about his betrayal by an FBI informant, William O'Neill. And so this guy basically is hired to infiltrate the Black Panther Party and take this guy out. So it's I mean, it's very much a Judas story, if for those who know that story.
Who's that? No.
And it's really cool. It's well done. It's got Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya, who won
the Golden Globe.
Globes.
Yep. Yeah. You did me dirty, right? You did me dirty because he was muted, right? Anybody see that? It was amazing. It was an amazing moment. Actually, totally memeable, and I'm sure it has been over and over again. So those are what Variety and Sam and I agree that these are, you know, the top 9 contenders, with the 10th being Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, based on the play by August Wilson, the Pulitzer Prize winning play, and starring, oh my God, the fantastic Viola Davis, and of course,
she's amazing.
Oh my gosh, and then Chadwick. Oh, like
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh my God! I mean, R.I.P. But like he was nominated for a Golden Globe posthumously. How do you say that? Posthumously. Okay.
Post after the fact.
After the fact, and so it's amazing. This was his last movie that he filmed, I believe, before he passed, and so it's neat to see that he was nominated there, and I hope that he'll be nominated again. And God, what an amazing story. What amazing monologues that just go on and on and on. Such poetry. So I really think it should be nominated. I just think it's absolutely one of the best. Cross our fingers. I mean, seriously, let's hope. And there's a couple of other outliers that we'll talk about. First of all, we'll talk about this one. Soul. Elemental. Yes, this is from Disney Pixar. And of course, it is starring Jamie Foxx and a slew of other fabulous people. And it's about a musician who basically lost his passion for music and is transported out of his body and must find his way back with the help of an infant soul learning about herself. So the musician actually dies and then has that journey of self-discovery, and it's amazing. It's really an amazing film. It really is well constructed. There's some problematic things about it, which I think is not only because it's animated, but because of those problematic things that have been. You should just look it up, y'all. It's really interesting. Lots of
It is. Stuart was just telling me. I haven't seen the movie, but he was telling me about it earlier, and it's a conversation.
Oh my gosh. I think it's very important, a very important conversation. And
Yeah.
I think that it was one of those, like, me watching the film with, I mean, frankly, with my privilege, and then watching, and then seeing it called out in the ways it has, it's been eye-opening. So please, everybody, you should see the film, but you should also read the articles that go along with it, especially if you're watching it with your kids. I think it's important that maybe you just be ready to educate. Here is, if I can find it. Oh my gosh, this film. This is also an outlier. I can't. I'm not.
Is that the next one?
Mank.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No. So this is about the dude that wrote Citizen Kane and his Mankiewicz, Herman Mankiewicz. And it is, I freaking loved this film. I just thought it was amazing. And I could
like
see.
Stylized.
Oh,
it's very stylized.
It's very stylized. And it is great cast. And Amanda Seyfried, Seyfried is just, she's wonderful as the like starlet character. And of course, all these people were real people. And it's wonderful. And David Fincher is brilliant. I just think it's very, I don't know. I really, 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 really loved it. And I would be sad if it wasn't nominated. I agree with Variety.
We'll see.
I think it's an outlier. I agree with
it's fair. It probably is. Because, well, that sounds weird to say, but like, there have been so many Hollywood history movies.
Yeah.
Maybe it's slightly going out of vogue. I don't know. Maybe that's why it's just an outlier.
Yeah. So a couple of our outliers, I don't have pictures for them, but you have Borat, subsequent movie film. You have Defy Bloods, directed by Spike Lee, and you have Palm Springs, which is actually, and First Cow. That's another one that probably
First Cow.
First Cow. So real quick about Palm Springs, though, I loved Palm Springs. It was so much fun. It's really interesting because it's like, I'll call it a romantic comedy, although it's not necessarily that. I would say that like stylistically, it feels a bit like a romantic comedy, and it is surprising how thoughtful it is. So do check it out. It's on Hulu, and it's worth your time. I don't know if it'll be nominated. I agree I think that's very unlikely that it will be nominated. But anyway. So Sam, talking about those rentals that you and I have been chatting about and that these lovely groups at Midtown Cinema have been enjoying, you put together a few videos over the last few months, but specifically this one was about all of the sci-fi movies that we have.
Yeah, so it's weird because we have monthly themes, but the monthly themes don't really matter. But it gives me something to focus on when I'm making videos.
Yeah, exactly. So enjoy this movie. Enjoy this clip.
Not a movie. It's a compilation.
Enjoy this.
A mashup, if you will.
Mashup that Sam put together. And see you in just a couple of minutes.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
All those moments will be lost.
the funeral of the old man. Unknown to his mourners, his dead wife was watching.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Get away from her, you bitch!
I said stop. On a dead planet. Buried alive. Buried alive. Con! What a good job, Sam.
I couldn't have a video without Con in it.
It makes a great stinger too. It's pretty solid. So
And it will now only ever remind me of the owner of the cinema. John Tierney.
John Tierney is his performance as Captain Kirk.
We did a promo video for the cinema when we did it was one of the Star Trek marathons that we did. Yeah. And he screamed corn when like the
popcorn, yeah.
Popped. Yeah. It's better when you see it.
No, it's pretty good. We should actually get that just like to play randomly throughout our show because it's that good. We'll talk about it this week. So in our next segment, well, we'll explain it in a minute, but Sam and I, we give him the fingers. Sam, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what in the hell that means?
So back when we did the podcast, we needed to come up with our own rating system. And since we're drinking scotch, we decided to rate the films that we watched with fingers.
Right. So
we it was not we would give the film whether 1, 2, or 3 fingers. It just sounds bad no matter how I say it. I'm sorry. But it was I'm sorry. So it was based off of how much, so if this film was a drink, how much would we want of it? So would we want 1 finger, 2 fingers, or 3 fingers? And that's how scotch is measured by fingers. Not how much scotch we need to watch the movie, but the opposite.
Yeah, the opposite. Absolutely the opposite. So we at the beginning of the show, we did play the trailer for the film we're talking about today, but we'll go ahead and play it again because it's that good. Also, watch the film. Here's the trailer for MINARI.
David, look! They're wheels! Wheels? 여기 대체 어디야?
집이지? 우리 새로 시작한다고 그랬잖아. 이게 그거야. 아빠는 빅 가든 하나 만들 거야.
What a wonderful day to be in the house of the Lord. If you're here with us for the first time, please stand. What a beautiful family. Glad you're here.
How's your daddy like that new farm? He growing things good, doing things right?
Yes.
미국 애들은 할머니랑 같이 방 쓰는 거 싫어한다던데.
But I don't like Grandma.
걔는 안 그래요. 한국애니까.
Grandma smells like Korea.
야, 뭐라고? 그랜마 스멜?
우리 여기 있다가 망할 거야. 애들을 위해서라도 한 번 더 생각해 볼 수 있잖아.
애들도 한 번쯤 아빠가 뭔가 해내는 거 봐야 될 거 아니야.
있잖아 이놈아.
할머니는 진짜 할머니 같지 않아요.
할머니 같은 게 뭔데?
쿠키도 만들고 나쁜 말도 안 하고 먼저 팬티도 안 입고
need to find water somewhere. If that soil ain't wet, you're gonna lose a crop.
결혼하면서 했던 말 기억나? 미국에 가서 서로를 구해주자고 했던 거.
기억해.
어이, 프리티 보이, 프리티 보이.
I'm not pretty. I'm good looking.
So, first and foremost, let's just have a moment for how freaking brilliant this child actor is.
Oh my god.
Little David is just so good.
His name is actually Alan S. Kim, or Alan Kim, I guess.
So good. Like
he's amazing.
He's top notch. I cannot wait to see him blossom into an adult actor. They're all great. I mean, honestly, and the other, the young woman, Noel Cho as Anne. Noel. Oh my gosh. I
mean, they're just both brilliant.
I honestly think this film is so good, and everybody needs to watch it. It is, and actually, I think it needs to be seen on the big screen. And the reason is because I think that the director Leigh Chung did such a good job just with showing us rural life, and that I felt like it was important to see. I don't know if I would have had the same experience that you and I had if I had seen it on a television.
No, it's fair. Yeah, it's very fair. So, Korean family. Trying to live the American dream.
Right. Buys a farm, buys land, moves from California. They had moved. Okay, so the main characters, played by Steven Yeun and Yeri Han, they moved in their lives as a couple. They got married in Korea, moved to California, and the movie starts with them having moved to Arkansas to start a farm.
Not even, no. So start a garden is what the husband says.
Well, that's what he tells his wife. You know.
He's like, it's a garden of Eden.
The Garden of Eden. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the wife is like, is this a farm? What did you get us into?
Yeah. He's amazing.
Oh my god, it's so interesting. Well, first of all, it's like, it's funny because I mean, there's so many films about people trying to live the American dream and failing or like struggling with it.
Yeah.
But to see that from a Korean family perspective is super interesting, just because they are still part of that journey. Like that's what America is known for, is people trying to, succeed in their dreams. And as all of us know, it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing, I think the variation on that theme for this one is when you're trying to live your own dream, make sure that you bring your loved ones along with you.
Yeah, they had some conflicted ideas of what the dream was.
Right, exactly. The idea of like it. Yeah. So, Steven Yeun, is he from The Walking Dead. In case you haven't seen him, he's fabulous in that show. But the is just killer in this role as the patriarch of this family, married to Yeri Han, and has two children, David and Anne, and then
grandma.
And the grandma moves in. So Monica and Jacob and Monica have grandma move in. Her mom, played by Yuh-jung Youn, and So let's just have, before we move on, let's go ahead and show everybody a clip of one of my favorite moments in the movie with Grandma.
Grandma is.
교회 버스 왔어요.
데이빗 놔두고 너 먼저 가.
This just gets better and better.
됐다. 어느 사람이 그랬어? 아니 저렇게 무거운 걸 어떻게 들었어? 그렇게 무거운 걸 혼자 들었어? 아이고. 어디? 일어나봐. 옳지. 자, 오케이. 자, 걸어봐. 아이고, 스트롱 보이. 스트롱 보이. 왜? 이런 소리 처음 들어봤어? 데이비사, 너는 스트롱 보이야. 할머니가 본 사람 중에서 제일 스트롱 보이야.
할머니, 피피는 무슨 맛이에요?
빵알루미.
I hope
I want
y'all
to be
were-
like Grandma.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be
Can't-
Grandma when I'm
You
older.
will be Grandma. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Cursing old lady. You.
That's me.
I mean,
I just have to get old.
right. That's it. And yet probably should start gambling or whatever, because I mean she doesn't, it just hinted that she's a gambler the way that she behaved. Anyway, she's absolutely fantastic. It would be a real shame if she wasn't nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I just think she's top notch. I think they're all
She's
amazing. Like
awesome.
honestly,
Yeah.
all 6 actors that play the main 6 characters are pretty
Because
astounding.
there's another one too. There's what's his face? The guy who works with them. What's his name? Yep.
Wait, the guy that works with
Will
him.
Patton. Paul.
Oh, right. Oh my God. It's so cringy. He's so good. He's
so
good.
awkward, but also lovable, and it's very conflicting. So
Yeah.
this is also something I wanted to mention: is this film has such a weird, like, journey with faith. Well, then like so, and I don't want to like give too much away, but just at least with Paul, he's like, and with other characters, like there's a
like
lot
the
of
friend slash like helper,
religious,
like farmhand. Yeah.
He's like what's the word that I'm looking for? Like I guess Pentecostal or like speaking in tongues type. Yeah. And very charismatic, that's the word. In like a weird, like his relationship with the dad is a good relationship.
Okay.
But there's definitely moments where you're like, what is going on? But every, like, there's a kind of theme throughout the whole film of they go to church, they go and all of the Korean characters, like what their relationship to faith is. So it's super interesting to see that played out, and like just the faith of what they're doing by starting a farm. Like, there's a lot that goes. It's super interesting.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that I really enjoyed was there's a lot of water and fire in the movie. The idea of elements, the idea of earth, and actually earth and water and fire are just this constant thing. I wouldn't say it's terribly heavy-handed. They never speak of it. They speak of water a lot, but it's just because of the plot. But it is.
Well, they speak of earth in the beginning because he holds up the earth and he's like, "This is
look at this dirt.
This is why we
And she's like, "You chose it because the dirt is the right color," and the wife is not having it. Not having it. I wouldn't either. To be fair, I'd be like, "You moved us into a mobile home. It has wheels." And not dissing anybody that lives in a mobile home, but I would have difficulty only because it has wheels. I just think aesthetically, I would rather it not. Just take the wheels off and have it sit on the ground.
I'm gonna attach wheels to your house, Stuart.
No!
I'm gonna do it.
Real quick, everybody. So before we move on, I want to make sure that first of all, I'll let you know that you can rent this movie for a private screening at Midtown Cinema. So all you have to do is go to midtowncinema.com/rent, and you absolutely can rent the cinema and request Minari. It's a delight and should be seen on the big screen. Secondly, Sam, I wanted to ask you, how many fingers do you think this movie should get?
Ooh. Okay, well, so it made me cry, so that's a good sign. It made me cry several times.
I was a mess during the film. Like, it's not, once again, this isn't like Gorillas in the Mist, Sophie's Choice kind of crying. It's
no, but
just,
like, okay, it's very relatable. It's
yes.
I mean, it's not exactly what my upbringing was, obviously, because I didn't live on a farm and I'm not a part of a Korean family, but just the family dynamic. The family dynamic is like just going through a very tumultuous family relationship, and not that I didn't love my family, but that's hi family. I'm sorry, but it's just like the struggle that they go through to like have they try to have a decent life, and that's all they really want, and their different ideas of that is super relatable. Like,
absolutely. It's
one
so
family
fun.
has one unified idea of what they want.
No, they don't. So we're going to close out with a little segment we like to call Red Carpet Update. So,
Stuart, we didn't even give the fingers.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Got so excited.
Just kidding. I completely forgot. I thought you had given it and then discussed it. How many fingers, Samantha?
I would say probably 2. I would say 2. 2 out of 3. Maybe 2.5.
2.5 fingers from Sam. Okay. I honestly would probably agree with you, but I'm going to go ahead and say I would say 3 fingers. I want 3 fingers of this film just because
it's so goddamn good.
Because it's goddamn good. So with that, we're going to do our red carpet update. All right. So the
we're so sorry, guys.
No,
we are so sorry.
Hey, it's the first show. We're working out some kinks. I'm trying to produce the show and talk at the same time, which is a terrible, and drink, apparently. In this segment, we wanted to just update you about what the red carpet evening might look like. And we have a little bit of an update for you. Make sure that you save the date on April 25th, because Midtown Cinema, like we said earlier, will in fact be doing a virtual event. So Sam and I will be there. We'll be on the screen just as you see right now. Plus, we'll have some special guests. And
we'll be dressed up.
And
I will be, at least.
I will think about dressing up that day. And it is absolutely going to be a blast. We're going to have some swag bags that will include some charcuterie plates that will be these delicious boxes. More on that next week. I'll make sure that I get some pictures that we can really, truly celebrate that because this caterer is top notch. And,
oh my God. We
have
sampled it the other day.
Oh, I have dreams about it. I'm on okay, so I've been watching what I eat, aside from the cookie I just ate and the scotch I'm drinking. So apparently I'm not watching what I eat. And Friday...
And counting calories.
I am counting calories, and that delicious box of meats and cheeses and olives and cookies.
You didn't even have the grapes. The grapes were fantastic.
You stole my grapes.
They were so good. I've never had grapes so delicious. And I'm not even joking. Not.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to have dreams about something. Have dreams about those grapes.
I will. I will absolutely have dreams about those grapes. So everybody, make sure you save the date for April 25th. More details coming up in the next week. And we'll put those tickets on sale. I promise. With that, Sam, I think we're going to close out our evening.
Okay.
Because we're going to next week, we'll see you again for next Monday at 8 p.m. We'll see you for more magic, more movies, more Scotch.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll
and
raise a glass and kick some ass.
That's right.